Hi, I'm Dr. Water. I'm a doctor, the kind who keeps working adults healthy, occupational, and preventive medicine. Read a pirate manga and your eye goes to the fights and the devil fruits. But the thing that grabs me, as an occupational doctor, is far more mundane. What on earth are these people eating on that ship? Months without touching land, a limited pantry, no grocery run mid-voyage. From a nutrition management standpoint, that is a seriously hard problem, which is exactly why the ship has a skilled cook is, to a doctor, startlingly sensible. So today, not as a review of the series, but as a story about your body, I'll check the math against real nutrition science. The short version up front. The scariest thing in the age of pirates is probably not the enemy. It's a lopsided diet. I'm not here to judge the series. I'm here to ask, if a human body made the same voyage, what would really happen? And back every medical claim with a paper. Who's the first to drop on a ship that's run out of food? Probably the strongest one. In the series too, food runs low mid-voyage and the cook stares down the pantry. And that's not staging. It's the very problem age of sail ships actually faced. In the real era of sailing ships, the thing that felled the most crew on long voyages wasn't the enemy or the storm. It was scurvy. The cause, vitamin C, ascorbic acid deficiency, bleeding gums, blotchy hemorrhages on the skin, deep fatigue, wounds that won't heal. These piled up, and on the long voyages of the 15th to 16th century, scurvy was a classic occupational disease of the crew. The nasty part, vitamin C is a nutrient the human body can't synthesize, so you have to keep taking it in from food continuously. A long voyage that cuts off fresh fruit and vegetables for weeks and months is exactly the environment where vitamin C runs dry. So what's really scary on a pirate ship might be running out of fresh stock rather than cannon fire. A ship with a skilled cook has, by that alone, a different survival rate. And that's a pretty sound claim, medically. Takeaway. If you're aware you haven't eaten fresh vegetables or fruit in days, that's a sign your body has started borrowing against itself. Deliberately add one fresh item first. Citrus works. When and who figured that out? Someone hit the answer before the reason. The interesting thing about scurvy, the food that works was found before the cause was. In 1747, the Scottish surgeon James Lind compared changes of diet in sailors and showed that giving citrus, oranges and lemons, improved scurvy. It's known as a very early example of splitting conditions and comparing effects, what we now call a clinical, controlled trial. In an era with no concept of vitamins, they grasped what works before why. The urgency of life at sea nudged medical history forward a step. The contents of the barrels a ship's cook loaded may, on a bad day, have saved more lives than the ship's doctor. So the way food is treated with strange weight in pirate manga isn't mere foodie indulgence. Voyage and diet are linked as a lifeline. The series is onto something. Takeaway, I don't know why it works, but I feel better when I eat this. Your body senses not to be underestimated. First, don't run out of the food that's working. The theory can catch up later. Just stock vitamin C and you're fine. Sorry, deficiency isn't only one thing. No, let me go carefully here. A ship's nutrition problem doesn't end at vitamin C. If the staple gets lopsided, for example, you run short of vitamin B1, thiamine. B1 deficiency causes beriberi. There's a dry form dominated by nerve symptoms like numbness in the limbs, and a wet form with swelling and heart failure. And severe thiamine deficiency can even progress to Wernicke encephalopathy, a disorder of brain function. Japan, too, has a history of beriberi spreading under a white rice-centered diet. This isn't limited to closed environment voyages. And when green and yellow vegetables or certain foods are cut off, vitamin A, retinol, falls short. Vitamin A deficiency has night blindness, trouble seeing in the dark, as an early symptom, and as it progresses, xerophthalmia, a drying of the eye surface, can lead to corneal damage and blindness. And vitamin A isn't a vision-only nutrient. It's essential to the integrity of epithelial tissue like skin and mucous membranes, to cell differentiation, and to immune function, so deficiency also lowers resistance to infection. In short, a ship's diet is decided not by is there enough, but by is the balance off? Even with a barrel of vitamin C aboard, if the staple and the vegetables are lopsided, another deficiency shows up in turn. A pirate cook carries not just flavor, but a menu that keeps deficiencies from appearing, which makes that job a serious specialty. Takeaway. Don't bet your health on one food or one nutrient. Defense is an area, not a point. Now and then, count how many differently colored foods are on your table. Reading this makes you want to gulp down supplements. Straight-faced here. Line up the horrors of deficiency, and you start thinking, so if I just take a big pile of vitamins and supplements, I'm safe, right? This is where I go straight-faced. First, the deficiencies listed above are, fundamentally, unlikely to occur if you eat a varied diet normally. And the answer is on the remove the imbalance side, not take a big pile of a specific supplement. In particular, the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K accumulate in the body. Vitamin A, for instance, taken in large amounts over a long time, can cause toxicity such as liver damage. Taking a single nutrient in large, long-term doses on your own judgment carries, for some types, exactly this overdose risk, and this article does not recommend it. And this is by no means a disease of the past. Take vitamin A deficiency alone. Over 1990 to 2017, data show it has remained a major cause of vision loss worldwide. Deficiency from a lopsided diet is not an old pirate story. It's a reality still happening somewhere in the world right now. Takeaway: if a symptom that worries you persists, don't try to solve it yourself with supplements. Talk to a medical provider first. Trouble seeing, numb hands and feet, wounds that won't heal. These signs may be your body's earnest message. If the fact check gives you one thing to carry into real life, let it be that. For the record, I'll confess, reviewing my own diet to write this, I found the days before a deadline running almost entirely on the same rice bowl. An occupational doctor writing about balance while eating unbalanced. I'm in no position to lecture, which is exactly why I'm convinced balance should be protected by systems, not willpower. Isn't that just an Age of Sail story? No, space and Antarctica keep the same problem. You might think, that's an Age of Sail tale. But the challenge of how to secure the nutrients you need in an isolated environment lives on, in changed form. Take Antarctic expeditions. Even in modern extreme, closed environments, trekking across a continent of ice over long stretches, managing nutrition and body composition is reported to be a major challenge. In an environment where resupply is hard, how to load and distribute the nutrients you need is, in essence, the same problem as an Age of Sail voyage. What a pirate cook does is, in fact, a genuine specialty continuous with the nutrition management of space, the poles, and the open ocean. On the single point of keep people from dropping in an environment where resupply doesn't work, it connects across eras and stages. Takeaway: your desk area might, in fact, be a closed environment where resupply is hard, especially in busy stretches. Check once whether your meals have narrowed to the same thing. In the age of pirates, the first thing to drop a person is probably not a finishing move. It's a quietly advancing dietary imbalance. Scurvy, beriberi, night blindness all share one thing: a shortfall that continues. And the countermeasure isn't flashy. It comes down to one plain move: eat varied things continuously. So the ship has a skilled cook, is, medically, the royal road. Before fighting, first, don't fall. That's the same on the sea and at your desk. Manga is a doorway into how strange the human body is, and the real body is far more interesting than you'd guess. See you at the next checkup. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Water. Subscribe for the next body check, and I'll see you at the next appointment.